Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a Friday afternoon. We're very lucky to have our guest with us here today. But before we introduce him, as all of you know, cryptocurrencies have always been touted as helping with financial inclusion, improving cross-border payments, making remittances cheaper, and the technology on which cryptocurrencies are based, blockchain technology, is being used right now to make financial services cheaper and more accessible. One of the companies globally that has really been pushing forward this agenda is the Celo Foundation. And we are very lucky this afternoon to have with us the Asia lead. His name is Evan. He used to be with the Federal Reserve Bank in the US, that is their equivalent of the BSP. And he went to the University of Chicago for his MBA. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Evan. Hi, Evan. Thank you for joining us here so late in the evening or so early in the morning.
Yeah, I'm calling in from California where it's 1 a.m. in the morning on Friday. So happy Friday to everyone. And thanks, Nichelle, for having me. It's great to connect with your community and the broader Philippines community.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. So actually, one of the things that people are very curious about is what is Celo's mission, and how are you utilizing innovative technology to bring about financial inclusion?
Yeah, that's a great question, and thanks for the lead off in highlighting how Celo is a mission first blockchain protocol. So the Celo community is driven by purpose to solve real world problems, such as the lack of access to sound currency, burdensome and expensive remittances, or friction with cash transfer programs that alleviate poverty. And the platform is initially focused on addressing the problem of financial inclusion. 1.7 billion people around the world lack access to financial services, which makes it harder for these people to save money or build a path to prosperity. And by starting here, we believe that the resulting system, this kind of new financial system that we're building on blockchain, will be more fully featured and resilient for everyone. So Celo is backed by over 100 companies, VCs, individuals. There are hundreds of builders on the protocol. A lot of academic research has gone into standing up some of the technological features, such as the light client and decentralized credit scoring. And we're really excited to launch mainnet, which occurred earlier this year, and Celo assets, which are now available and trading on several global exchanges, and our wallet, which I can talk more about later, which will be launched soon and available in the Philippines. So, we've taken several major steps in 2020 to bring Celo closer to achieving its mission of enabling financial prosperity for all.
That's super exciting. And I guess before we talk about the token and the upcoming wallet launch, for the benefit of everybody here, could you share a little bit about your partners? Because I know these are not small partners. We're talking about the biggest names in VC and tech. Maybe you can share a bit about partnerships that you guys have currently.
Yeah, so we're very fortunate to have the strong early backing that we do. Celo was founded in 2017, and some of the early backers include A16Z, which is Andreessen Horowitz, and Polychain Capital, which is very, very invested in the ecosystem and runs the Polychain ecosystem fund that supports projects building on Celo. Also, Coinbase is a backer. Several notable names like Jack Dorsey, the head of Twitter, Reid Hoffman, the head of LinkedIn, and a number of other prominent entities around the world. We also are very fortunate to have an alliance of mission-aligned companies and organizations building on the Celo Protocol, including the Grameen Foundation, the major micro-lending organization. And so happy to discuss more about this moving forward. We also held an auction earlier this year for the global community to purchase Celo tokens to also be part of the building the ecosystem and sharing in that prosperity. So it's great to see more and more people kind of joining shoulder to shoulder with the early enthusiasts and investors to make Celo a more robust and inclusive protocol.
You guys are definitely well backed, and these are the biggest names in tech. A16Z, obviously, one of the earlier investors in, I guess, practically every big tech company you see today. Obviously, Reid Hoffman of LinkedIn, Jack Dorsey, who himself actually is an avid Bitcoin supporter. So I'm curious about what Celo is implementing technologically, and we're curious to hear more about the projects you currently have.
Yeah, so I'm happy to talk a little bit more about the tech stack. First, maybe I'll give a quick overview of the protocol. So I mentioned some of the early supporters and the mission, but how do end users experience Celo? Well, most likely through the stablecoin Celo dollars, which is pegged or whose value follows the US dollar, and also through the Celo native asset. So it's a two-token decentralized stablecoin ecosystem that runs on proof-of-stake consensus and can be accessed through a variety of mobile wallets, therefore making the protocol very usable for things such as remittances or peer-to-peer payments. So with that quick background, happy to share a little more about the tech stack. So the Celo's implementation is a fork of the Go Ethereum client, which means that Celo is fully Ethereum virtual machine compatible. This means we inherit the rich developer and tooling ecosystem of the Ethereum community. So any dApp or tool or wallet built for Ethereum can be ported over to Celo very easily. But one of the main things that makes us different from Ethereum is Celo's proof of stake consensus and the mobile first nature of the platform. Also, we have a native stablecoin and identity layer built into the protocol, which is unique to Celo and not found in other protocols such as Ethereum. So the combination of these features make it easy to build tools and apps that end users can incorporate in their everyday lives. Because, as I mentioned earlier, we're targeting these 1.7 billion unbanked people, and there's an even broader set of people beyond that who you would say are kind of underbanked or underserved. And these people need stable value currency that can be transacted quickly, and also they can benefit from having a form of lightweight identity on the blockchain, which helps to enable the foundation for credit scores or a whole lot of other financial possibilities. So that's some of the features that make sending Celo as easy as sending a text message. Actually part of our protocol it encrypts your public address, your phone number as your public address, and therefore the users can send and receive money to phone numbers, which is a much more common way that people are used to communicating with one another than like those very complex, hexadecimal strings that are very prevalent in most blockchains, and Celo as well. But we have this sort of encryption abstraction layer over the top. All these features, I think, help to bring Celo to the end user in a way that is kind of seamless and intuitive. That maybe they may not even understand that they're using blockchain, but they certainly will appreciate that they're using blockchain because they can experience the benefits firsthand.
Right. Thank you for that overview. And I guess for the benefit of every one of us here who are not as knowledgeable about the technology, the obviously we talked about in the community, we talked about Ethereum before as kind of a platform where applications can be built. So Celo itself is another protocol that's forked out of Ethereum. So you're somewhat similar to Ethereum. And essentially the advantages of the Celo protocol is that it's more predisposed to enabling money transfers as easy as a text message. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's really bringing blockchain to the end user to achieve mass adoption in a way that has not yet been achieved.
Understood. Yeah, so we'd love to hear more about what initiatives you guys are currently on in terms of implementing the protocol, and maybe a little bit about the native token as well, because most of our audience are cryptocurrency investors, and they should likely see Celo Dollar or Celo Gold listed in the market sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm happy to share more about the Celo native asset. So it used to be named Celo Gold, but through a community governance proposal, the public-facing name was changed to Celo. So it's CELO is the ticker, and we often refer to it as the Celo native asset. The other asset at launch on the Celo protocol is called Celo Dollars, and the ticker is CUSD. Yeah, as you have on your screen. And this asset follows the US dollar, and it's pegged in a decentralized manner. So yeah, I'd love to share a little more about the Celo native asset. I think that is of great interest to your audience, and then can discuss a little bit more about the two asset system and also about the broader ecosystem we're building. So I know it's a lot to cover, but I'll kind of break it up and we can just have a conversation. Feel free to interrupt me at any point. So the Celo native asset is the utility and governance asset of the protocol, and it serves multiple purposes. For example, it's a central component of the consensus and governance mechanism of the Celo protocol, as voting power in validator elections and governance decisions in proportional to the amount of the Celo native asset that you lock. And so when I referenced the governance vote earlier to change the name of the token, this is exactly one of those uses of the token where holders are rewarded for engaging with the protocol. The Celo native asset is also elementary to the stability mechanism. So it is held in a reserve smart contract and exchanged for Celo dollars to balance supply and demand of Celo dollars. So in addition to the Celo native asset, the reserve is comprised of a diversified basket of non-Celo crypto assets such as Bitcoin, in Ethereum that comprise the broader reserve. And the reserve is, periodically rebalanced by on-chain governance. And this is how we achieve kind of a hybrid crypto collateralized model for the Celo dollar. That that through the Celo native asset, we have 100 validators that are elected to perform proof of stake consensus, and Celo holders, anyone around the world, can delegate or stake their Celo to a validator and earn rewards for participating in electing validators to propose and validate blocks. Would you like me to share a little bit more about the Celo dollars and the stability mechanism, or would you like me to chat a little more about the ecosystem that we're building?
Maybe you can explain a little bit about how the Celo dollar tracks the U.S. dollar, because I understand that a lot of our community members are familiar with USD or TSD. Some familiarity with that, which I think is a little more comparable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Filipino.
Hello? Oh.
Can you hear me?
Oh.
Great. Yeah, I think
Yeah, you're good.
people in the Philippines, in particular, are really familiar with using the U.S. dollar, given the heroes, the OFW community around the world that sends U.S. dollars to and from the Philippines. So Celo dollar is an elastic supply, stable asset that follows the price of the U.S. dollar. And so with Celo dollars, you can send money anywhere in the world for less than a penny in a few seconds. This makes it much cheaper and faster than other blockchains and traditional fiat. So the stability mechanism for Celo dollars can be understood as a hybrid crypto collateralized seigniorage style model. And the protocol sets incentives for users to adjust the supply and demand to match the US dollar price peg, and to do this in a decentralized way. So at a high level, the Celo expansion and contraction mechanism allows you to send $1 worth of the Celo native asset to the reserve in order to create a new Celo dollar. Or you can burn a Celo dollar by redeeming $1 worth of the Celo native asset. And this direct link through a decentralized exchange that runs on the protocol is kind of like the driving market force that keeps the Celo dollar peg one-to-one with the US dollar, because there's a arbitrage opportunity that opens up if the Celo dollar peg were to deviate. And having this DEX in a crypto-only reserve and a decentralized reserve allows for anyone in the world to participate in ensuring the stability of the Celo dollar, which ultimately makes it a much more stable asset.
It sounds very technical, and I guess if our audience wants to know more, they can go to your site and then read the details on your white paper. But I guess to summarize that a little bit, anytime that there's some sort of mispricing against the dollar, there are incentives in place for traders to kind of buy when it's lower, sell when it's higher, to kind of like keep that stability against the dollar. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely correct.
Maybe we can chat a bit about the ecosystem, because I know that 5 million Filipinos working overseas, everyone's sending money back home to their families. or going through a bank, that would be most helpful and affordable. So I'm very curious to hear about your incentives in that, and if it's indeed as easy as sending a text message.
Yeah, and please let me know if there's any connection issues. I can always repeat myself, but I'm happy to talk more about the Celo ecosystem and the alliance and some of the projects that we have in the pipeline. So the Celo Alliance is a group of over 100 mission-aligned organizations. So right now, I think we're at about 120, including a number of entities in the Philippines, both blockchain and non-blockchain. And these organizations are working to enable greater prosperity and financial inclusion. One great example of the alliance in action is the recent Grameen collaboration that we conducted in the Philippines to provide relief to women, micro entrepreneurs during these difficult times under COVID. And PDAX was actually an important contributor on the liquidity front for that collaboration. I'm happy to share a little bit more about this because I think it shows the power of the alliance in action. Several thousand Philippine beneficiaries were selected by Grameen and microfinance institutions to receive a cash aid transfer for the purchase of essential goods like groceries or pharmacy items or even mobile load. And a large proportion of these funds were transferred over the Celo Protocol. So this really represented one of the largest, public efforts to provide relief through blockchain technology anywhere in the world, which is what makes it so exciting. Many of these female micro entrepreneurs, were very hard hit from COVID. Also, maybe they were less tech savvy to begin with, or maybe they had older versions of smartphones, or maybe they had never downloaded an app on their phone, or maybe they had never even purchased an item online or done online shopping. So there are all these hurdles that we were working to overcome to deliver financial aid through blockchain technology. But through downloading the Valora wallet, Grameen was able to quickly disperse funds to thousands of beneficiaries who could then redeem it through an online microsite for the purchase of groceries and pharmaceutical items. And so an important partner here in this collaboration was also Beam & Go, who is a well-known Philippines remittance company. And so together, by kind of connecting blockchain entities and real world entities, and by leveraging some of those native features of the Celo protocol that'll allow end users to understand it without all the complexity of blockchain, we could kind of connect this dot and help people who were very much in need during these difficult times. So that's one example of the alliance in action, and there's many other projects with the alliance in the pipeline, and we're excited to bring more of these opportunities to the Philippines going forward.
We're very grateful that the Philippines is one of the countries that the foundation thought to support, particularly us being pretty hard hit by the pandemic. For the benefit of everyone, so Grameen Foundation is this global nonprofit that seeks to end poverty through financial inclusion. And for our part, PDAX, we're also very happy to have supported in that partnership in some way. So I guess we're all pretty excited about your other initiatives, and to the extent that you can share more. we'd love to hear about your future initiatives.
Yeah, absolutely. So one really exciting future initiative coming down the pipeline is the launch of the Valora wallet. So Valora is it's a global payments app built by the Celo Labs team that will be released globally very soon. And this allows anyone to easily and securely store money on their mobile phone. This wallet is the same wallet that was used in the Grameen collaboration. So these benefits will be available to everyone really in a few weeks' time. Um, it's a non-custodial app, meaning that users secure their account by storing their seed phrase. Though many other wallets can integrate Celo tokens too, such as custodial wallets, or they could provide other services such as the phone number mapping service that the protocol provides. There's also a network of cash in, cash out services, banks, convenience stores, and agent networks in the Philippines that we're working with to also include in the Valora wallet and other partner wallets in the Philippines to enable greater use and cash in and cash out of Celo dollars. And merchant redemption points are also an important way for people to use their Celo assets and convert them for physical goods. This is something that we're looking to extend from that initial collaboration with Grameen to the broader Philippines ecosystem. So very soon, anyone in the Philippines who receives a remittance will be able to shop online and purchase groceries through a Beam and Go. So we've experienced some really positive feedback and early success with our efforts in the Philippines, starting with relief. But we think that remittances and the holiday giving season will be an important way for the broader Filipino community to experience the benefits of Celo Protocol. So stay tuned for the Valora wallet to be released in the Philippines soon. There's a number of other partners and partner wallets in the Philippines that will also list Celo assets, and each partner has their own kind of natural advantages or niche within the ecosystem, and we're just really happy to have more and more people included in the Celo ecosystem going forward.
This sounds super exciting. So we can expect to download the Valora app and be able to transfer value peer to peer. And you also mentioned that this is a non-custodial wallet, so um, uh, the keys are not in your possession. That's correct, right?
Yes, that's correct. So by non-custodial, that means that the user will hold their own seed phrase, and so the user has full control over their funds.
Okay, got it. So I think that really addresses some of the security concerns around using the wallet.
Yeah.
So uh, okay, so for sure we're super excited about this. Are you thinking 2021 or early part of next year?
It's coming this holiday season, so stay tuned. 2021 will be an exciting year, but yeah, we haven't closed out 2020 yet. There's a lot of exciting giving that could occur, and Christmas giving that could occur on the Celo Protocol and through the Valora wallet in 2020. So yeah, I think we'll be in a good position to share a lot more in a few weeks about the Valora launch in the Philippines.
Well, stay tuned for that, and definitely the PDAX community is excited to hear more about it. And potentially, speaking for PDAX, we're also keen to work with the foundation more closely in the future. Um, Tell us a bit more about the Celo Alliance, because I understand that probably one of the challenging aspects of like promoting financial inclusion is that companies which are involved in financial services are not always best positioned to expand access, right? Because the incentives aren't there. But with the alliance, you're able to gather, I guess, a community of firms to help you in your mission. So perhaps you can share with us a bit about what the alliance is, who your members are, and how they're helping advance the cause.
Yeah, absolutely. So is a great question. So the Celo Foundation is the nonprofit entity that oversees some of the initiatives and governance efforts of the Celo Protocol to kind of help guide the evolution of the protocol. And under the foundation sits the alliance. So
Mhm.
all of the alliance members who are, say, includes Grameen, Beam and Go, wallets such as Abra. Um, they all are part of a group that helps to shape the mission and the trajectory of the Celo protocol, and also importantly to bring the benefits to end users. And one of the focuses of the alliance is to make sure that we're achieving together our mission of financial inclusion. And so we've broken it down into like different use cases that alliance members can contribute to. So if you're a merchant, maybe you could help with accepting Celo dollars. If you're a remittance company, you could help with sending Celo dollars internationally. If you're a identity protocol or a security firm like Ledger, which is an alliance member, you can help to secure the Celo protocol. There's also validators in the alliance. There are other NGOs like Mercy Corps and Give Directly, and soon, some other really big international names as well. So it's a very diverse organization across the spectrum of, from the size and type of entity, and also the use case that these entities are focused on bringing to end users. So that's really unique and interesting to start. But the alliance is nothing if it is not effective in implementation and integrating the Celo protocol. And so that's something that we showed with the Grameen collaboration. I think there were 6 alliance members working together to really string together the flow of funds and the user experience. And this is something that is really exciting to see, and in which we hope to see more of. But also the C Labs team has a lot of strong engineering talent at the cutting edge of blockchain technology. And so we at C Labs, Celo Labs, which is the company that I work for, are also part of the alliance and can help with integrations or troubleshooting, and really making the most of the opportunities of blockchain technology to kind of fill that gap that's been left by the current financial system. So there's a huge swath of people around the world. We talk about the number of 1.7 billion people, but on a real kind of micro level, these are everyday people who just don't have access to banks, who have to walk to pick up cash, pay really expensive fees, maybe 7 to 10% for remittances. So there's this big gap of people who are left behind by the financial system. And we've proven that blockchain can reach these people, and that also creates a really exciting new market opportunity for really any company or protocol around the world, because now you have almost 1.7 billion people that can start to grow their wealth, improve their livelihood, and achieve greater prosperity through blockchain. And that's really what the alliance is all about. We also have some other really interesting strategic, what we call longer-term objectives, where we're working with governments or advising on the creation of central bank digital currencies on the Celo protocol. So there's a lot of exciting innovation to come, including with the official sector. as much as there are opportunities with the private sector.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's great to see that not only are you working within the alliance uh, to kind of be point of sale partners that accept Celo dollar, but you're also working at the macro level with the governments to kind of like see the long term vision of this. And maybe just to relate it a bit more to our community here, and speaking from personal experience, having worked for a bank, I do know that there's a lot of challenges with delivering financial services given the existing infrastructure, right? This is the reason why, as ridiculous as it sounds sometimes, Filipino OFWs pay up to 8.5% to send money back to the Philippines. And putting it in the context of like the work year, that's 1 month's pay in a 12-month period. So I guess uh, hopefully with this protocol, you can also support developers or startups looking to build new age financial services to service what I would call age old problems.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why we have our grant program. So we're in wave 3 of the grant program. Applications are still open till November 20th for any teams looking to build a solution that enables financial inclusion, such as cheaper remittances on the Celo protocol. And we also are in the second round of Celo Camp, which is kind of a startup accelerator for teams building on the Celo protocol. So definitely encourage you to stay involved with the whole community, to stay involved with the grants program and Celo Camp, because that's a great way to enable opportunity and to kind of bootstrap a business, a blockchain business that's built on the Celo protocol. And all these opportunities are available to people in the Philippines.
I think that's super exciting for those of us who are developers or aspiring entrepreneurs, or just folks who want to see a difference in the financial services sector. So Celo can also provide, you said, grant support. So if we have meaningful projects, we can apply, I suppose, online through your site.
Yes. There's a blog post on our Medium page, so you can access that through the homepage at celo.org, and you can read more about the current wave of grants, the request for proposals, essentially like the things that the foundation is looking to fund. And yeah, please feel free to follow up with me or anyone else involved in that effort. We're happy to answer any questions you may have with the grants program. But so far, the foundation has dispersed several $1 million worth of grants. So we're seeing a lot of enthusiasm and interest so far this year, and going forward as we look to foster greater innovation on the Celo protocol, but two, and very importantly, encourage greater decentralization. So as more people are building on the Celo protocol, everyone benefits.
Absolutely. And well, thank you so much for spending your early morning with us. I do know that you're staying up quite a bit late for this. And speaking for PDAX, we're also aligned with this mission, right? We want to make financial services more accessible, definitely a lot cheaper than how it's currently being done. And we're very happy that the Stella Foundation is looking at a country like the Philippines to further this goal also. And going forward, PDAX is very eager to collaborate with the foundation. So this is, I guess, also an invitation to the PDAX community, everyone who's in the audience right now. If you think that there is a specific pain point in the financial services industry right now that you're equipped to solve, and you think you can deliver a solution for the market, please reach out to either the Celo Foundation or to PDAX, and we might and we might be able to support that initiative and see it through. So again, Evan, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thanks so much, Nichelle. I think it's always a pleasure to speak with you. I think PDAX is one of the foremost blockchain companies in the Philippines. It's really exciting to see everything that you're doing, and the access that you're affording for people to participate in blockchain. And I encourage everyone to get involved with Celo. You can join our Philippines Telegram channel. We'll share the link a little bit later on. We also have several ambassadors and other folks on the ground in the Philippines right now. So there's many ways for you to connect. And yeah, I think there's a strong synergy between PDAX and Celo going forward. So we look forward to continuing this relationship. Thanks, Nichelle, for having me.
Thanks, Evan. And I guess we can share also the links with you right now. I think we'll show you the handles to follow and the Celo.org URL. But yeah, thank you so much for spending time with us here, Evan. Um, so before we end this session, I also want to share with the PREX community that as we head into November, obviously crypto prices are going up. We're launching a promotion, no fee November. All right. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, buy now because you will not be charged any trading fees. So no fee November. It will start on November 10th and will last us the rest of the month. So, yeah, please sign up, upgrade your accounts, and transact. And also, please look into Celo Foundation and see if any of these initiatives align with your entrepreneurial goals, and reach out to the foundation for support and also guidance. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.